there, and welcome back to another episode of the Carolina Wedding Partners podcast. My name is Jessica. I'm the owner and artist at Tidelines Luxury Mobile Tanning.
And I'm Kristine, an owner and operator of Beauty Bar Bridal Artists.
Today's an exciting episode because we're kicking off Bridal Beauty Month.
Yeah, and it's like we know all about.
It's our wheelhouse.
It is.
Thank goodness.
Every single day of our life, we're talking about beauty.
So if we don't know what we're talking about in every other podcast episode,
we know
this one's the one to watch because we're really telling the
we
truth.
actually know what we're talking about. And thanks for bearing with us.
Absolutely. So the month of June, we have labeled within the CWP community is Bridal Beauty Month. We are focusing on really all of the vendors that we have hosted underneath the beauty service category in our directory and kind of diving a little deeper into what that means for brides, right? How to get the most out of those services and that kind of thing. So we both fall under that category.
Yes. And it can look like planning for an entire year, and it could look like just planning for the month ahead. And in terms of my business, we're usually planning from the very beginning. So say you get engaged 18 months before your wedding, it's a great place to start with your hair goals. If you have had some damage to your hair, if you're going from one extreme to the other, this is the time to make those decisions. If you're going to stay put, if we're going to stay black, if we're going to stay really blonde, if we're going to, whatever we're going to do, this is the time to make that decision. And then and the healthy part of it too. Like a lot of people want to make sure that their hair looks long, luscious, and healthy in their photos, which I completely agree with.
Yeah, we're on board for that.
And we have some really great things for like services for you to do in order to prep your hair for that and your skin. So not only I just do the hair in my business, but I do have a team of artists now that do makeup and aesthetics, and this is a great time for your skin because like yes, those little pimple patches, they work in a pinch, but like if you're having some severe issues that you haven't addressed, now's the time to decide what's going on, how do we get a handle of it so that when it's time to get your makeup done for your wedding, like you have the best glow you could possibly have, smoothest skin, whatever it is that you need, prepped and ready to go for the day of.
And I think the average bride, we'll say, has about a year. That gives that bride time to try out every enhancement. You think you've got to get custom matched hair extensions if you want to learn how to do fake lashes, or if you want to do chemical peels on your skin, or try out new makeup tints and things like that. You've got a whole year, and if you're working with the right team, they're really going to point you in the direction of, here's what I think is going to enhance the beauty that you already have, right? Because I think that's something that has to be addressed early on. Like we're not looking to change a bride, we're only looking to boost her confidence and to really enhance the features that her lucky fiance fell in love with, right?
I agree with that statement about making you feel confident, right? So when I turned 40 a year and a half ago, I decided that now I should take care of myself.
Right.
So this is a time, and my decision I made was when I turned 40, I want to take care of my skin. Like, I feel like at some point, like you're like, I don't care, I'm young, it's gonna be fine. And then all of a sudden,
it's not on your mind.
You wake up one day, you're 40 years old.
What's on this mirror?
And, there's sagginess.
Wait,
there's
me.
Things are going down, and hormonal things are weird, right? So what I decided to do was get consistent facials. And in that period of time, I noticed a huge difference in my skin, which built confidence. So that's kind of where I'm getting at. Like if you start that process soon or early on in your planning process, it just starts building that confidence. Like, I actually really do feel good about my skin, and I really do. Oh my gosh, my hair does actually feel good. It is possible, you know, and that just builds that momentum as it gets closer to your wedding day.
And you can use it as a benchmark on what you want to look like the rest of your life.
That's right.
Because I look back at my wedding photos now and think, that girl had it going on.
Same. I was 21, so of course I had it going on. But I think it builds extreme confidence when you can start a good healthy routine. You just feel good in general. Once you feel good about what's going on inside of you, it just exudes.
And then even after the wedding, you just continue on that habit.
That beautiful journey.
Turns into a self-care routine, and one day you'll be, pouring that into other brides, or heck, you could make a whole career out of it if you really fall in love with it that much. It's kind of what happened with tanning for me.
Did you get a spray tan before your wedding?
You know, I didn't. I did what I lovingly call tan in a can.
I have done it many times.
DIY mousse. But I wasn't I didn't have tide lines when I got married.
Right.
So yeah, it was just kind of one of those things. And now that I do it, like I help clients with that service, I'm like, this is such a instant boost.
It
of
is.
Just,
it is
so good when you're tan.
Yes.
And I leave an appointment and I'm like, oh, that's a good tan.
Yeah.
That was a good tan.
Yeah, everything looks better when
But
you're tan.
a tan also helps when you have a good canvas to put it on, a healthy canvas, a hydrated canvas. You talk about facials and things like that. If your skin's already nice and clean and prepped and dewy, the tan's just gonna enhance that too.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that are highlights in your process for tanning. So talk about the timings, trials.
Yeah.
Do people do trials? Talk about. I know I didn't have any background in tanning. I just thought one size fits all. Right.
Get in there.
But you actually do have like a color. Like you're creating custom
colors.
colors.
A lot of color theory in both of our jobs, right?
It is. So
Yeah.
and I don't think a lot of people know that. So talk about some of those things.
Sure. So when I first started Tide Lines for bridal and event tanning, I required a trial. I felt like that helped me as I was learning my craft to make sure that the final product would be good. I was happy with it. But also for clients who might have never tanned before to say, oh, okay, I'm not going to look orange or an unnatural color.
Give them a little bit peace of mind.
Exactly. And button that up to like bridal portraits or a bachelorette party. You don't waste a tan per se.
Sure.
But the most important, and I talk about this a lot, it's actually in our directory as well. Skin prep is so important.
Yeah.
Being exfoliated, clean shaven if that's your vibes, nothing on your skin. I find that with clients sometimes they're like, well, I did put a little bit of lotion. Things like that are fine. But any oil, serum, if you're on like tretinoin or Accutane, any of that, you've got to watch it. There's give and take with those modalities, I guess you could say, with spray tan. Hydration is absolutely key. I'm sure you preach this to brides as well of, you've got to stay hydrated. It's one of the first things that we forget about.
Yeah.
If I'm busy doing a bunch of fun like bridal appointments, I'm getting my nails done, my hair done. You're not eating and you're not drinking water, and those are very important. And I've seen plenty of brides start to go down, because they haven't prioritized that nutrition and hydration.
Yeah.
It'll get you quick. I think for any client, whether you're wanting to tan for your wedding or somebody else's wedding or, just for fun, if you're apprehensive about a tan, there is a shade for you.
Yeah.
And I have shades that I call like body makeup. So it is a tan, like you're going to get some color out of it, but it's more of like a smoothing of the canvas
things
per
out
se.
a little bit.
I always say eyes look brighter, teeth are whiter. You feel more confident, but you don't have to go out and buy a whole new makeup regimen. You know what I mean? You're not going to look different than what you usually do.
Yeah.
And my goal with bridal tans is to always, the bride's going to look back in 20 years and forget she even had a spray tan, And I think with hair too, right?
Yeah.
You want to enhance that natural beauty. A bride feels like herself, just a little extra.
Just a little more.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I'm really curious about, I'm a horrible client, actually. Hair client, tanning client, all the things.
Oh, I'm the worst tanning client. I don't listen to any of my own advice.
Walk through your steps, because this is actually really important, and I think it does make a huge difference in the way the tan looks.
You mean like once you're in the tent, what we do, or like leading up to it?
Leading up to it. So give me that timeline, like the days before your tan, because at one point I remember asking you like, oh, the tan, like I shouldn't get my manicure. I should get the manicure last because I don't know what's the thought process, but you're like, no. Do all the things, and then the tan's your last.
Yes.
Explain why, and explain, like, say, that week leading up to your wedding day. What are the things that you need to do to your skin, all the other things before you get the tan?
Well, I guess it's worth mentioning that a spray tan is only dyeing the outermost layer of your skin. So there are different layers of the skin. The outermost layer is the layer that is dying skin.
Okay.
Like it's at the end of its life cycle. And I believe, nobody fact check me, I believe a life cycle of our skin is like 20 to 30 days or something like that, 15 to 20 to 30. Anyway, we're trying to catch the freshest skin to tan. And that's why exfoliating is so important, because we want to slough off
anything that was about to come off.
Anything that's on its way out, so that we've got a fresh canvas. That's what makes your tan last longer and keeps you from looking, I call it crispy. Like the tan just kind of lays on top of your skin. It's not really like coming from within. So that's why exfoliating is so important.
And when you say exfoliating, do you mean like a scrub, or do you like a mitt? Like, what is the most effective exfoliator?
This is going to be a whole podcast.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm fascinated. I've had tans, and
I love it.
Really
I could talk about exfoliating all day long, because exfoliating looks different to different people, right? So you don't want to use anything to exfoliate your skin that's going to leave something behind.
Okay.
So if you've ever used a scrub and then once you rinsed it off, your skin felt really silky, that's not what you want before a tan.
Okay.
My favorite is just to use the plain old mitt.
Okay.
The little like scrubby mitt. Put some soap on it and just scrub. I've had clients that have over scrubbed before, so if you're a sensitive skin girly, you got to be careful,
right? Like,
there have been areas of like it almost looks like a burn.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, now I have to spray tan over.
Like, what do I?
Basically a scab.
And what do you do then? Like, is there nothing
just
you can do?
Moisturize the heck out of it. Really educate the client that there's a good chance that this is either going to need a touch up. Something else over top of it. Like, I talk to brides about body makeup a lot, and I know makeup artists usually have something like that in their kit. I've never had to like, don't over exfoliate, thank goodness. But I have seen where, you know, if somebody's starting to peel and they're like, oh shoot, I'm gonna scrub, it can be
devastating to the skin.
It's not gonna make your tan look natural, right? And sunburn on a spray tan is a whole different story we could talk about, especially in these months, making sure that you're not getting sunburnt. And I'm sure from a makeup standpoint too.
Yeah. It's hard,
we're
but
not magicians.
No, we're not. But I will say that the group of makeup artists that I have had to correct some sunburn or cover tattoos or things like that. Oh my God. It's amazing. So
have you had yours covered up?
No, because I am proud. I love them, and nobody cares. So. I think we're in a day in a time frame now that most people are accepting of tattoos. Right. But there's that one.
And if there's one that the bride feels like it's not necessarily enhancing the dress, or if it's in like a weird spot.
Yeah.
Or God forbid it says like an ugly word or something.
Right. Or, one of the things that some of our makeup artists have had to correct is like a bruise. Like, especially like me, I've got, for whatever reason, I bruise horribly.
Same, we need our iron checked.
I don't know the width of my hips apparently, and that's typically where the bruises are.
It's the chair's fault.
Whatever.
It's not your fault.
But they do a good job of covering that. So going back to what we were talking about, even if the tan, like, you get your spray tan, but still things are coming through. We do have solutions.
Some things to kind of help even that out, keep it nice and glowy.
Yes.
Another thing that you had asked about that I'm just remembering now is scheduling for your spray tan. So let's say all of your other spray tans have been done. You love them. You love me. We've scheduled for your bridal glow. Or I see a lot of brides who have their girls come together and we do almost like a party.
Yeah.
You want to get that tan 2 to 3 days before your event.
And explain that to me, because I always thought one day before,
like the closer the better.
I was always so scared that like I would wash away the tan, but after having a few, I noticed that by that third day, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm looking really good.
It's really settled in. The solution has had time to really, no pun intended, marry into your skin.
Love it.
Any areas of imperfection, or if you don't rub that bronzer off just right, it can look kind of dark or like pitty. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just not great. By that second or third day, you've had at least 2 showers where you've really like rinsed really well. Because even after, so we tan you, bronzer's on, and you think, ooh girl, I'm tan. You go to bed, you wake up, rinse it. Bronzer's gone. And you think, where did it go? I hear that all the time. I feel like I'm a little light, and I say, just hold on, sister.
Yeah, let it marinate a little bit longer.
24 hours after that first rinse, the solution is still developing on your skin. It's getting oxygen from your environment, really laying on, like, I don't want to say oxidizing, because that can be a scary word, but really settling into those pores and adjusting itself from there.
Sure.
So 2 to 3 days before. If you're going on vacation, I always say the day before.
Okay.
Because day before, you're going to have it last longer. I always joke that my tans last 7 to 10 business days, because I don't know what y'all do on the weekends.
And we could go
there
down
is
a
margin
whole
for error there.
rabbit hole of situations that happen.
Yes. But if you're a good client
Yes.
and you follow the prep and post-care instructions that I give you at the end of your appointment, 7 to 10 days is about how long you can expect the life of the tan to last you.
So this, I don't know, just jarred something in my head and thinking about color and things like that.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times, say I do someone's color, I tone it, it's too dark. I always say the same thing. Like it's kind of the opposite. Like, oh, the toner's too dark. Like I want it to lighten up. I'm like, okay, well, you just washed it a couple more times.
You told me that last time you did my hair. Do you remember?
Yeah, I did.
I wasn't even worried about it.
Yeah,
truly.
I really knew like if I started darker, that by the time it lightened up, it would last longer and stay
so good and melty and just what I wanted.
But if there's somebody who's like freaking out, right? Sure. And they're like, oh, this is too dark and I don't know.
I wanted platinum.
Yeah.
You're like, honey, you wanted white.
Yeah.
That's white.
Yes.
There's no color there.
No, exactly. You literally.
Which I'm also one of those clients too. So I'm talking to myself.
But you gave your clients some tips like, okay, okay, fine. I maybe a little too dark. I didn't, I should have whatever.
Well, I'm thinking too, like sometimes the blonde can be more warm or more ashy,
and so the ashier
tone, that kind of thing.
A lot of times when they say ashy, they don't really understand what they're saying. Ashy just means that it's cool.
Like muted.
It's muted, but it also means darker. It's a darker blonde.
Yeah.
When they want something warm, it actually, people go red, orange. And I'm like, no. Actually,
like
it reflects light and it looks brighter and lighter.
Which is something you've taught me too, and you want a little bit of both for that natural contrast.
Well, you do. You really want something neutral so that you're not steering one way or the other, because we change our clothes. We don't wear the same thing every day.
And you told me too that the light in your bathroom will always make your hair look warmer than it is.
Yeah.
Right? So like I've looked in the mirror after I've curled my hair and I thought, oh, that's really like yellow back there.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's just the lights in my bathroom.
Right. And there's a lot of people, like I've got one of those thin, those skinny windows above the shower.
Yeah, over the shower.
I have that, but it doesn't bring in a lot of natural light. And so that natural light is really what actually your hair looks like.
So Tommy, we're renovating the bathroom. She needs windows all the way across.
Yes, everybody should have natural light in their bathroom for putting makeup on and all the things.
I always love when we go to a venue for like a tour, and as soon as we walk in the bradal suite, it's like, windows!
Oh, this is the bathroom I've always wanted.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I always make it a point to say, Kristine loves natural light. She loves natural light.
Well, so my tips for people, like if they want it to go lighter or whatever, just like, wash it a few more times, it'll sift off. What if, two questions for you. What if they get their tan, they're like, oh no, it's too dark, and I wedding days in 2 days, what do you recommend?
So in the event that a bride is like, this is the nightmare tan, which for the record I've never had happen before,
Nope.
but that there have been times where, let's say a client fell asleep with like her hand against her face or something, which I always preach, and then there's like a darker, because it's like double developed, right? Or it's like lighter on her face, darker on her hand, or vice versa. We can use that exfoliation like problem to our benefit. There are ways that we can, especially hands and feet, sometimes those can tan faster, they'll develop faster.
Sure.
Or if a client's not moisturizing well, sometimes the tan will like almost like floats to the surface. I wish I had like little pictures I could insert.
Well, it's like, too, when you wash your hands, you'll notice that in certain, like your knuckles and like inside your wrist tend to clump up there. Like what do you do to try to mitigate that?
I always tell clients, leave it alone for the first day. If it's still there the second day, you can use like a washcloth or a loofah in the shower and just like lightly buff. But you always want to do very light layers because you don't want to take it off.
Right.
Because then it's like a stark white, let's say you've got like knuckle lines or something. You don't want it to be completely white, especially if you're a bride. And I always tell my bridal clients,
pictures of your hands.
God forbid anything were to happen, call me. I will come and fix it. I will never leave you hanging with an ugly tan. Like I would never do that.
Yeah.
And another thing I preach to brides, and I'm sure you kind of have a spiel of this too, your entire body is photographed on your wedding day.
Yeah.
Hands, your shoes, your leg, your silhouette, the back of your shoulders, the back of your neck. And so all of those places need careful, enhancing, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that like your décolletage area, if you have heirloom jewelry, your earrings, your hair, right? Everything is photographed. the groom might get one picture of the back of his head on accident. But the bride, I mean, truly, you're getting the back of the dress. So your back is there. And, then you flip it around and let's get pictures of you putting your shoe on and tightening your bracelet and that kind of thing. You've got to be every angle ready.
Yeah.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure at all.
But that's why leading up to your wedding, really planning strategically is so important because it's for, quote unquote, one day.
Yeah.
Right? We're really working hard to make sure that everything is literally perfect.
Yeah.
On the
and
first
photographable on your wedding day.
Walk me through what trials look like for you guys.
Yeah. So, I recommend. I've had brides that have like booked their wedding and then immediately booked their trial, and then I don't see them again for.
I want my hair done today. Yeah.
24 months. And then I always take pictures and I pull them up when it's time. But sometimes if it's too far out, you're like, what did I do?
And your mind's going to change. Look, I tan a lot of her brides. And what's one of the questions I ask, what are we doing for your hair?
Yeah.
Not that it truly impacts the tan, but I like to know.
Sure.
I'm a little nosy like that.
So it's
and they always say, I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Or like, we're going to see what the weather's like or whatever. So I'm sure you get a lot of last minute.
It does happen. And I hate that, we don't really want to do a lot of last minute things, but the weather, we can't control the weather. So
you've had a couple of brides lately that you have had to switch. Flip it up there.
And it's fine. I mean, we figure it out. I think trials need to happen within that 6 to 12 months. Mm-hmm. And then that's, again, going back to the beginning of the podcast, talking about like, let's prep. Like, what are you looking for? Like, if you're looking to blonde your hair, let's get some appointments in. Or if they're from out of town, like, make sure your hairdresser knows. Like, this is when I did your trial, it was a really dark spot here, or whatever it is. Make sure that they're adding in some blonde there. So if you don't want to see that you are prepping for that. So these are the like times where we really need you to make those decisions.
So during that trial, you're really looking with like a fine-tooth comb of like these are areas that I want to enhance as an artist.
Right.
How do you feel with this? That kind of thing.
That's really and then length of hair. A lot of times, obviously your hair is going to grow. It could grow 6 inches between now and the time of your wedding.
And everybody grows their hair out during engagement.
They do. They do. No one cuts their hair. They grow it out.
It's like at a standstill.
Right.
Don't even trim it.
They're barely trimming it. But that's also keeping that in mind. And then this is a time to decide if like you're going to add extensions or like I like to work with clip-in extensions because you're not like locked in.
Well, and you don't have to hide like banding and things like that,
right?
Especially on lighter hair, right?
The cool thing about clip-ins is like you can literally just put them in the spots that you need them, and nobody knows, and then you're not committed to them for months and months and months. So,
what's your thoughts on like a halo extension?
It depends on the style. So, like, are you talking about
like are they harder to hide? Where it's like the wire,
band? Yeah. No. I think they're great for like the style that's really sleek right here, where it's kind of like tucked behind the ear, and you've got that little bump.
I love that look.
The halos are perfect for that style.
Oh, because it's like the separation between what's tucked and what's poofed.
Yep, and it's easily poofable. If that makes sense.
These are very expert terminology here.
Yeah.
Poofable.
But then it gives it like that nice even color in the back too. So like if you have some things going on and maybe your color isn't quite where you wanted it to, that halo covers a lot to make it nice and even. There's so many things you can do with extensions.
Have there been any clients before where you had to kind of like bust their bubble on like, I want, like I know, and you know this about me too because you do my hair, like the big bouncy Hollywood curls are not in the cards for me for my wedding day, right? My hair's not going to hold that structure. I don't feel like the texture or like the amount of hair that I have would, that needs like a really thick,
it does,
luscious, perfect hair. So if you did that for your wedding, put it in the comments below. And what's it like to be God's favorite? Because that's amazing.
Exactly.
I just think about, or like if I was a bride that did, like me now, if I didn't use some sort of extension and I wanted this big flippy like Pamela Anderson updo, my hair's not going to cooperate, right? How do you explain that and educate your clients on that, either during a trial or if you show up on the wedding day and they're like, I want this, and you're like, you don't even have 3 hairs on your head, sister.
I will say a lot of the brides, when I have those conversations, it doesn't happen often, but when I do have to have those conversations, they're very accepting of it. They're like, I want to do whatever my hair is going to do. If it's not going to do this, then let's change.
What's my version of this? Yeah.
Right. And I do actually recommend the extensions because that extension hair is completely different. It's going to hold. And so if you want something that needs to stay in place down for the entire day, adding other hair is very, it's a good solution.
Rather have too much than not enough.
Exactly.
That's interesting. Don't you love it when a client's like, just do what you think is best?
Yes, I do love it.
It's like the best.
Then they say that, but then I do, and they're like, well, can you
could you just actually do something totally different? That's the good thing about a spray tan is once it's on there, baby, it's on there.
Yeah.
And we can change it, but not right now.
Yes.
You got to let it live a little bit.
That's right.
But I love when clients are like, well, what, I don't really know. Like, I want to be a medium tan. You say dark, and people are like, oh, dark spray tan. Like,
well, they immediately go orange.
Yeah.
Like, it's always to that awful orange color.
So I always explain, like, we want it seasonally appropriate, but maybe just a little bit more. And I always say, if you trust me, I know what you want. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, whew, awesome.
Well, and then you always find a way. People, you just...
We MacGyver it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
And at the end, you're
the
like...
worst that could happen.
We're going to ask that in every episode.
Worst that could happen, I have to fix it.
Truly. And everything's fixable.
I'll make a house call if I have to.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk real quick about like the Pinterest versus reality and AI right now because everybody is using AI to enhance the photos on the Pinterest, and it's. I can pick it out now, like because I know what real hair looks like. But let's talk a little bit about how we can explain that to people. Like, hey, like this is not actually a real.
So I think Pinterest probably affects me more than AI does. I feel like AI is more you. When brides bring you pictures and it's like every single hair is perfect and you're like it's not real. I fight photography style a lot. If a bride shows me a picture and goes, I love hers, and it's a very saturated image. Okay, well, if you are super white, like a super light color naturally, and you want this really saturated color on your wedding day, like we've got to work somewhere in between there. Or on the flip side, if it's a very light and airy picture, or like we're at the beach, right? So everything's outside. We've got to make sure that you're not being like overwashed or like washed out by that bright white dress that you're wearing in this big long lineup of who knows what your bridal party's wearing. You're sucking in all of that color because you're in the smack middle.
Right.
So making sure that we have a color for you that's going to help like make you stand out, but not too much, right? But then AI, oh my gosh, it's like, again, like I said, I'm a bride and I want this big, huge, I've got this awesome picture, this, beautiful, this girl's got like heads and heads full of hair. And then it's AI, and I say, well, I want this. And you're like, honey.
That's not real,
It's not a real person, and they've got 6 heads of hair over you.
Yeah, and that's why I say we add extensions.
Or God forbid, like, I expect it to look like an AI image, and then when I flip around in the chair, I'm like, wait, this isn't. It's the exact same thing, but it's on my head, right? Tell me about that.
Well, I've had clients or brides that will, we start off with something, and they're like, oh, like profile's a big deal to me. If their profile doesn't look good, I'm like,
you need it balanced.
We need to do something. Like we need to lower the bun. We need to, or actually, I think it really should be down because something's, your structure of whatever.
Well, again, and you don't want your bride fighting the dress.
Right.
You want something that's going to complement the dress, stand out, and hold its own against the dress based on the silhouette. Absolutely.
Right.
Big picture. I think that's a great idea for a vendor, a beauty vendor, to say, it's just your face, but it's also the whole
you're
thing.
Looking at everything. Like you talked about earlier, like you're getting pictures of all parts of your body.
And everything needs to be ready and perfect because you're not always paying attention when they're taking those pictures either, right?
No, exactly.
You might be hugging your mom, but you want your arm nice and toned and your hair beautiful and perfect.
Well, and then keeping in mind too, like what is your activity gonna look like that day? Like, are you a dancer? What are you gonna be doing? Like, if you're gonna be sweating, like me, I blink 5 times and I am sweating already. I want something up off my neck. I know I'm going to be dancing. I want something that's going to stay, intact all night. And I don't want my silky little fine strands to flop out.
Or like the enhancements to like be hanging out, right? So you figure it's like a pillow kind of?
It's like a little mesh.
Yeah. God forbid you're dancing the night away and you've got like a bird cage in the back of your head, right? Or like the clip-ins, you might be able to see the clip-ins. I'm sure that's a nightmare for photographers.
Yes.
To have to go back in and like make it look like hair again or whatever the magic that they do behind the computer.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so just keeping realistic expectations, communicating those expectations to your beauty team, right? And giving us enough time to make it a reality for you.
Right. And if we need to pivot, give us some time because we want to avoid last minute things. Obviously hair, whether I can handle that, but major things like chopping your hair off suddenly or changing colors suddenly, let's wait.
What do you say to a client that's having like a skin issue? Like I'm thinking, what if you have a bride, because they always come to you with really clean hair, they should.
Yeah.
What if it's like flaky or dull, or like what do you do day of to kind of combat those things?
Dry shampoo. Actually, I've got a whole regimen of products for the different issues.
Powder?
Yes, all the time. I run through that constantly, and that does help a lot.
Yeah,
it does. It combats oiliness, anything that might be irritated on your hair.
To make it look like thicker for like the hairline pieces and stuff.
Exactly.
Good to know. See, so really if you need your hair done for your wedding, you just need to call Kristine.
And I've got a whole team of people that can help you.
That's just the beginning and end of it. So even if you're out of town bride, right? So if you are an out of town bride, when do they reach out to you? When should they reach out to you?
So I'm usually one of the first ones they reach out to because they don't know who I am. They don't know me. So you've had your hairdresser at home for 100 years, and so the first thing you're going to do is reach out to a handful of hair and makeup artists because you want to see who's available and then look at their portfolio and kind of narrow it down to your style. So you're going to do that early, like 18. If you're an 18-month bride, 12-month bride, you're going to, in between that time period, you're going to reach out to me so we can figure it out.
So what are some questions that I guess either you ask clients or clients ask of you to make sure that you are the right fit for the style of hair and makeup? I know you have a team, so now that you've got more girls on your side to say like, okay, well this girl wants full glam, she needs this artist, or this girl wants very like boho chic, relaxed hairstyle, she needs this stylist. But are there some questions that brides need to go ahead and like have the answers to before they reach out to hair and makeup to know that like this, because I've had brides before that they had a trial, then I tan them, and they're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. The hair and makeup was just not it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that they weren't qualified to do it. It's just the style that they did and what I normally wear are not a match.
Yeah, well, that's why, it's okay to reach out to several people. And what's super cool about my platform is that my website shows each individual. It explains who they are, what styles they like to do, and it has an entire portfolio underneath them. So they can see their style. And then at trial, yes, it's an extra cost, but it is so important that you feel comfortable with the person that you're scheduling
putting that
with.
Next to bridal portraits or a party or something
you're not
like
wasting a style.
You want to get the most out of that investment. Even if it's not, like I can remember when I did bridal portraits, my hair in my bridal portraits and then the hair on the day of my wedding were totally different. But they were still both very beautiful, and like it was nice to have a bit of variety there. Like for my bridal portraits, my hair was all the way up, and then on the day of my wedding, we did half up, half down. And I loved them both. So even if my trial wasn't exactly what I was looking for, or like I ended up changing my mind.
You have time to think about it.
It was still professionally done.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it was still a good fit. So something to keep in mind for brides.
Yes. All right, friends. I think, actually, we could probably talk about this forever and ever and ever. But we do need to move on to other things.
True.
And
we've got another rabbit hole to jump down.
But we would love to hear from you guys too. So like if you had a positive experience with your hairstylist or you had a not so positive, let us know. We want to hear. Or
if you have questions for us in our day jobs. Drop them below in the comments. We would love to answer those for you. Or check us out in our individual Instagrams and things like that to see our portfolios as well.
On beauty. Oh my God, what is my business? Beauty Bar Bridal Artists on Facebook and Instagram.
And I'm at Tidelines Luxury Tanning on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, friends. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow on all the accounts, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and TikTok.
And if you're interested in more bridal beauty services and other vendors that we host in our community, check us out at carolinaweddingpartners.com. And until next time, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
So, do me a favor, move again. That's what it was.
I'm good?
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
It's always her.
Macarena.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's because you can actually see it on the screen back here. So when you were moving, your meter wasn't moving at all. When she would move, hers was going like this. I was like,
Your meter moves.
all right,
You vibrate.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was Teresa's fault this time.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, what if you're flat chested? Then it'd be even worse.
I told you, my knees.
Oh, bless her.
Poor girl.
Did I look more comfortable in my chair last time?
You.
Okay. Halfway through,
You
I
look
was like,
uncomfortable in this one.
because I'm thinking about it right now.
You're pregnant. You're supposed to look pregnant.
Okay. What if I really did just like, it's coming. You guys watch. Towards the end, I'm going to be like, weddings are so beautiful.
Once again, you did it to yourself.
I get no sympathy.
Oh.
I'm going to name him George.
All right. So with this.